Fanday. Thank you. Are we ready?
Why did you decide, I'm Edith Lederer from the Associated Press. Why did you decide that this issue needed a day of its own?
Well, I mean, the day is not to celebrate, but is to remind the world that something bad like this is happening, and also to give the victim voices so that they know they are not in this on their own. There are a lot of people who are there for them and supporting them, and try to make sure we minimize it. I don't know whether we'll be able to stop rape altogether in the world, but the louder we get, I think it reduces the number of victims that we have. And a day for us to be able to gather, a day that a victim will know that it is not just them, there are other people. A day, it's more of a day of solidarity for one another, where we listen to each other's pain and say, yes, indeed, it did happen to me, and you know you are not in that for, on your own. And it gives a lot of victims a voice. I'm just a face, I'm just here pushing their agenda. I am not a victim of rape, but I am a victim of early marriage. So I understand, indirectly for me, I keep saying early marriage is a legalized form of rape. So I believe that the victims, they all have the same story, because when someone violates your body without your consent, that is a crime, and it's taking your human right away from you. So November 18 will be a day that we will gather and we will scream together and say, you're not going to bring us down. We're still surviving, and we will leave. If you think you have finished us, no, you haven't.
What kind of activities would you like to see the countries, the members of the United Nations, undertake on this day?
I think it's more about giving, every government should be able to talk about rape, especially where the continent I come from, Africa. People don't want to talk about rape, and it's a very big issue. So if you have a day like this and then you have a lot of people who are willing to come forward, I think they should be allowed. Why do we celebrate freedom of speech if I'm not allowed to say what was done to me? So the November 18 will be a day that will give victims the voices. And I think every government should be able to support. If we are practicing democracy in our countries, every government should be able to support November 18 and allow victims to come out and talk about their ordeal. Sometimes even just talking is healing. So giving them that freedom to talk. And I think also government should be able to support programs like that. Government should be able to support educational programs that will also help so that we don't have victims, so that kids will see the signs of when somebody wants to rape them, because sometimes there are signs, sometimes you don't get the signs, and sometimes kids don't even understand that what was done to them was wrong. So we will have that opportunity to educate the young generation for them to be able to identify signs of rape, and then God forbid, if it happens, what they need to do. I think that day will help us do that.
You've got a lot of support for this resolution. There were a whole lot of names. How do you feel about the fact that it was adopted by consensus with significant support from the UN member nations?
I think the United Nations has been engulfed in bad news, and then we want to give good news to the world. The whole world knows this is bad. Rape is bad. And I think the whole world is standing in solidarity to say enough is enough. And this is a clear demonstration in this hall today to say we are not having this anymore. So we just, what can we say? We say thank you to the United Nations, because the world is United Nations. So we want to say thank you.
The process started years ago. It's been in the making for some time. And it is only the last few years that it has gained traction. should we think that your engagement has helped brought it to this critical stage?
I won't say my engagement personally. I was just working. I think the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone is the one who is the focus here. He's the one who believed that this day should be given to victims because he believed that gender equality is a woman's right, it's our right. And he had stood with women in everything that matters when it comes to rape, when it comes to every policy that makes a woman become an equal to a man. So I think it is the President's agenda that we are flying with. I'm just a face, and I am the one who does the campaign, not because a man cannot do a campaign, but a woman has the emotion to express the problem. So I am the one who expressed the problem. He is the one who supports the agenda.
Regions of Africa have been very much concerned with this phenomenon. So is that something that resonates with you, that get so engaged in this?
I think, again, it is a problem, it's a global problem. It's a global problem, it's happening everywhere. But I mean, I want to also concentrate on my continent, Africa. And together, there are a whole lot of people doing the same thing. If we all connect, and then we are all speaking from the same hymn sheet, the world will continue to listen to us. But I think that the West have actually managed to talk about it for a very long time. The West have been talking about it. They are not ashamed to talk about it. While in Africa, we've been covering things up. We've been covering things up for so long. And now this generation are saying, we are not having this anymore. And when a woman is in front challenging something as heinous as rape, you are a victim of everything bad. They come after you from all angles. And that is where I stand to say, I am not scared of you. You are a coward because the things that you do is an evil thing, so I am not scared of you. I can talk to the world about your evil deeds, and then I wait to see what can you do to me. And I feel like in Africa today, we need to stop using our religion to cover up bad things. You cannot be using religion use your culture to cover and pretend it's religion. There is no religion that says rape is acceptable. This resolution is supported by the Catholic, is supported by the Islamic Relief. This is showing that every religion is saying rape is wrong. So we should stop using our culture to cover up the evil things that we do in our continent.
And lastly, how do you see the next step? So this is a resolution. Where do you go from here?
Well, we've been talking since I've become the First Lady. It's the 4th year now, and I think I have made enough noise for the United Nations to understand that we are not joking. So we're going to continue this subject, and I want to say thank you because this is the woman who I know has looked at the wall and decided to come to me and say, look, I have this. We've been working on this. We have found every opportunity to bring this forward. It has not worked. From the first day I listened to the story she told me about her brother, I knew this become my agenda. And I want to say thank you to Jennifer for making this my agenda and for making sure that the world hear. And of course, our permanent rep here, Madam Fanday, Dr. Kanu, they have worked. Basically, this has been a resolution as if this is the only job they have. Well, now you have a new job. We need to get Sierra Leone to the Security Council, please. We've got this one. Now your job is to make sure His Excellency become the next person that sits as the non-permanent member of the Security Council. Thank you. Thank you very much. God is good all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Do you guys want statements from anybody else?
Thank you so much.
No comment from you? The co-sponsor?
There's a co-sponsor here.
No, what will I say? No, she has spoken now, so it's okay. The president has spoken, it's okay.
The co-sponsor should. Okay, he should have a few words.
Talk like what?
Mamadou.
Jennifer.
Well, just to say thank you to my colleagues from different missions for their support. It wasn't easy. There was some sort of support from member states. I mean, we understand the importance of this very important resolution, and their support was quite invaluable to us. And today, it was adopted by consensus, just to send a signal that the world will be aware of the danger, the impact of child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, and create awareness so together we can begin to do something to prevent it and, of course, to bring healing to the victims and survivors. So I want to thank the member states for what they have done today. It's indeed a great thing for all of us, and to thank Sierra Leone for their wonderful leadership in this very process, and of course, our great
Global Collaborative.
for their support too. It was just a collaboration and a multi-stakeholder support. So I thank all of you for your support, and I'm sure that with this resolution, we'll continue to create the awareness and bring healing to those who, to the victims, and of course to the survivors. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I can't stop thanking my team as well for being here. Like the First Lady said earlier, His Excellency the President of Sierra Leone thought it fit that this is a very serious issue. And this is one of the issues that we will take to the Security Council when we go in 2024, 2025. He takes it very seriously, and that is the reason for Madam First Lady as well to be here, to be able to champion this cause. So I want to thank the rest of the other member states who supported us, and we are asking that if they can also domesticate this resolution into their laws, so that everyone will be on the same page and we will fight this heinous crime. Thank you.
From that very question, having them actually domesticate this resolution in their books, how is that process is going to go? Is there going to be any leveraging actually that they make sure that they do that?
That is why the First Lady is here. We will continue to champion this cause. She will reach out to each and every member state. And also, when we get into the Security Council, this is one of the things that we would use. We will use the influence whilst we are there to be able to push it, and push it very hard, so that we have the resolution being domesticated. Thank you.
As a survivor of child sexual violence, this is a very, very important day for me. For many years, we have walked silently with the shame and the blame on what's happening to us. So just having a day that recognizes what happened to you is wrong, and we're finally going to start doing something about it, and we're going to start talking about it and not hiding it. It is extremely important. I come here in the name of the Brave Movement, which is a network of survivors, global survivors, who are looking to make changes. I come in representation of a Brisa Foundation, where we work with prevention, healing, and justice. Today, the United Nations has established 18 November as an official World Day for the prevention and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. The creation of this International Day is a groundbreaking milestone in increasing global awareness of the horrific prevalence of sexual violence against children and mobilizing action to prevent violence and support healing and justice for survivors. The data is staggering. Around 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 9 boys across the globe experience sexual violence before the 18th birthday. However, we know that violence is preventable and change is possible. Decades of research shows there are proven effective solutions that can keep sexual violence from occurring, and policies and programs that make sure survivors can have access to healing and justice. The establishment of a global day increases understanding and recognition of the devastating issues of sexual violence and will mobilize action to create transformational change. Together we can and must create a safer world for future generations. Brave Movement to End Childhood Sexual Violence and its host organization, Together for Girls, applaud the passing of the resolution and recognize the leadership of the Government of Sierra Leone and the Government of Nigeria in facilitating the official United Nations observance. The members of the Global Collaborative for the Protection of Healing and Child Dignity originally came together to help create a World Day. This year, the Brave Movement and Together for Girls will mobilize on 18 November with survivors, partners, and allies around the world to demand global leaders enact policies to prevent childhood sexual violence and support to survivors. Too many years we have been suffering in silence, and today is such an important day to know that we're no longer alone. Thank you.
Tell us your name and where you're from and what organization you were representing here.
My name is Brisa de Angulo, and I come from Bolivia. I represent a Brisa of Hope Foundation and the Brave Movement.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Well, I can hardly believe that we're here. It's been a 2-year journey, actually 4 years since I first asked Pope Francis if we could have a World Day to protect children and to help survivors in their healing. So both of my brothers are clergy abuse survivors, and they've both had really challenging lives. And I really felt strongly that we needed to have world recognition of this issue and this problem, to bring more resources to bear, to really help prevent it in the future, and to start healing, and not only healing victims and survivors, but healing relationships, healing the church, healing all the other churches where this has happened. And so for me, it's a very personal journey. I'm so happy to have so much support. I'm really overwhelmed. We've been working very hard to pull this together. We have over 100 international organizations that are going to be tweeting out today in support of this issue. And really, really grateful to Sierra Leone and the First Lady and Nnamdi and Nigeria and all these amazing countries. And then even the Holy See, who behind the scenes was really helpful in helping to support this initiative. And so we're incredibly grateful to everyone, and really happy to have this now concluded, and I can actually go back to my day job. So thank you. Yes.
How do you see the campaign to make sure that the books in Western Union would be codified with the resolution?
I'm sorry, what was the
How would we make sure that the resolution is going to be codified in the law books at the Western Union?
In the European Union?
European Union.
Well, there is, so the Council of Europe has a treaty called the Lanzarote Convention, and that has, all the European nations have signed this convention, and it's around protecting children from sexual abuse. And so every year they have a celebration on the 18th of November, not a celebration really, it's a commemoration for child protection. And we chose that date and decided to support that date from the Global Collaborative's perspective, because we felt that we needed all the European nations on board. So they're doing a lot of work proactively in Europe, and I think there's a lot of countries that are doing work, but we're not on like a mobilized platform. So this day really brings us together to help us mobilize and bring all the nations together with the NGOs, and to really push out policies and strategies to overcome this issue. The biggest challenge countries have is that it's so intercontinental and transcontinental. You have children that can be accessed from 2,000 miles away on the internet, and that trend is growing, and it's really scary. During COVID and during the isolation, it was like 1,000% increase in child sexual abuse exploitation online, and that's really troubling. So we're deeply all very concerned about that, and that's something that we're trying to tackle as a global community. So as you can see with the support we have today, we have probably 20 survivors that came in, we had people that flew in from Europe for today, from Chicago, from Los Angeles. And it's really important, and we really, we're really great. We're all overwhelmed. We're just really overwhelmed. So thank you. I know there's a couple other people who probably want to make statements. So, no, we're done? Okay, we're done. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.